On Resolve Problem segment tonight, a nasty racial controversy in Louisiana. In the small town of Jena, 6 young black students have been charged with beating up a 17-year-old white high school student. One of the boys was convicted of battery, but that conviction was overturned, the court saying the 16-year-old should have been tried as a juvenile. He was tried as an adult. The controversy is even more intense because before the battery took place, nooses were put on a tree outside the high school after some black students sat underneath that tree. Today, thousands of African Americans descended upon Jena protesting the situation, and there is bitterness in the air. Joining us now from Philadelphia, Dr. Marc Lamont, who teaches at Temple University. You know, we've taken a very cautious approach to this story. I was not there. You were not there. We don't want to convict anybody or say who did what to whom. However, when thousands, more than 1,000 African Americans roll into a town of 3,500 and passions are so strong, and the case has not yet been completely adjudicated, one wonders why they're there. Why do you think they're there, Doctor?
Well, you know, Bill, although we don't have all the facts, and what we know right now is cause for unrest, it's cause for disgust, and it's cause for people to mobilize and go down to Jena, Louisiana. We know for certain that nooses were hanging. We know for certain that the school probably didn't handle that in the most responsible fashion.
Well, they suspended the kids who did it. They didn't expel them. They suspended them.
Right. And many people wanted federal hate crimes pursued as well.
Do you think look, these are high school kids. They did a bad thing. They got suspended. It's on their permanent record. Do you think they should face federal beef?
I think at the very least they should have been expelled from the school.
Really?
Yeah, expelled from the school, absolutely. People right now with zero tolerance policies around this nation, people are expelled for much less. For graffiti on a wall, for bringing a pair of scissors to school. I mean, this is, I think, bigger than that.
All right, so you think it should have been expelled, not just suspended. All right, that's number one. What else?
Also, you know, when you look at the way in which charges were excessive, I mean, you're talking about initially attempted murder charges.
Yeah, but it got pled down a battery, where it should be.
Right, but again, this is what stokes some of the racial tension. People don't feel, and myself included, we don't feel that this was a mere coincidence or part of the normal back and forth of prosecutors and defense attorneys. This seemed to be drawn along racial lines. There were white people, white youth who were also involved in violence, who were also, one youth was carrying a gun in particular, and no charges were brought against him.
Okay, but let's step back for a moment.
Yeah.
You have 6 black students beating up 1 white student. 6 against 1.
Yeah.
They knock him unconscious, all right? Now, this didn't have anything to do with the nooses, by the way. This was a separate beef.
Well, not entirely separate. Not entirely separate.
No. This guy, the victim, had nothing to do with the nooses. Everybody says that. Nothing to do with them.
Oh, he didn't hang the nooses? No, absolutely
He didn't have anything to do with them. Okay, so you got 6 black guys against 1 white guy.
Right.
So somebody could say, well, really, who is the aggrieved party here?
Well, nobody's hands are clean here. Everyone here deserves justice. I don't think that the 6 men who were involved in the beatdown should be made into martyrs and heroes. They should be punished. But the question here is, will they get punished to the same extent that a white defendant would?
Why not let the system play out and see what happens? Already the one who was convicted has got his conviction thrown out. And you know as well as I do, in Philadelphia, where you live, and in New York, where I live, 16-year-olds are routinely tried as adults in violent situations. Right, but Bill, they kicked it back, and right now, this kid, nobody knows what's going to happen to him, but he's not convicted anymore.
But Bill, your argument assumes that the system worked itself out on its own. The reason why the charges were reduced, the reason why people are being treated more fairly and equitably right now is because of our response. It's because of our activism. The system didn't work on its own.
But I'm not saying that's fair.
No, but I'm saying
I don't know if this kid should be tried as a juvenile. He's 16 years old, and as you put it, participates in a beatdown with 5 friends against 1. I don't think I want him tried as a juvenile in the case, sir.
Well, the question, again, the question becomes, what are the consequences of him facing 22 years in prison? Does the punishment fit the crime?
No, if he got 22 years, it would not.
The answer clearly, of course, is no. But again, the question becomes, also, what happens if we don't intervene? If the national spotlight isn't on this issue?
I want the spotlight to be on it.
Exactly. But
I do.
But earlier on, you were saying that we should step back and let the system work itself out.
No, I want the spotlight to be on it, but I want it to be on it responsibly. I don't want...
That's what we want. Bill, I think that's what people are fighting for in Jena right now. No one is down in Jena right now asking for the system to play out in a way that's unfair. What we want is fairness. What we want is justice. What we want is America to live up to its domestic character and its possibility, and that's what we're trying to do here.
All right. We will follow this story. It's very explosive. Once again, the doctor and I, we don't know what happened. I think we're on the same page that we want justice.
Of course.
And we'll see how the system works out, and if it isn't justice, believe me, we'll be on it. Professor, always a pleasure to see you on a program. Thanks very much.